All right, well, that brings us right now to come and introduce Lewis Swart. Now, I did have your bio up here, but it disappeared in the frenzy of trying to get my computer to stop overheating. But what I can tell you about Lewis is he is a master of the art of delegation. He has owned a number of businesses. Get this, he's employed over 450 staff. Imagine sort of running that. If you've thought about herding cats before, he's managed to find a system that really works well with people. And he's run a number of successful companies and built and sold as well too. So he's from Sydney, but today he is in South Africa, and you'll notice that he's picked up the accent, having been there only for a few days as well too. So his topic tonight is 150 things that you can and should delegate and outsource as a small business owner. So let's put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, Lewis Swart.
Thank you very much. It's absolute pleasure to be here, Nick. Those tools that you had, phenomenal. I think I've definitely got benefit out of being here already, just for the short time that I have. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is the fact that for a lot of us, we sit here today and we say, Nick's showing us some tools and he's saying, there's this AI tool that you can use, and this AI tool is going to do the idea map and it's going to give you all these great ideas. And there's this tool that you can use and it's going to help you create a whole lot of reels. And we kind of go, I'll get to that someday. And the thing is that your competitors are also looking at those. So your competitors are also looking at all that content. Your competitors are also looking as to how they can increase their content. Okay. They've also got access to these tools that Nick's just showed you. So that creates an issue for us, because I know for a lot of us, I was in business for a long time and I got on with everybody. All the people knew who I was and there was no issue. I grew a business from nothing to turning over 35 million with 450 staff. And I did that because I knew everybody and I'd been in the industry for a while. And when new people came in, they had new engineers that came in, the people would just say, find me a safety guy. And they would literally Google it. And whoever the first person was that came up on Google, they would give them the work. So suddenly my work declined. And it wasn't because the work had declined. It was because didn't have a really good social media presence. So, I'm thinking about David. David, you buy and sell businesses, okay? And now if I was literally today, if I went wondering if I should sell my business, we know that this guy's listening to us. We know that our Google's listening to us. We know that our phone, our Amazon Home is listening to us. We know that probably our TV's listening to us. We know that our computer's listening to us. So suddenly I'll start getting a whole lot of adverts and I'll start getting a whole lot of information about, hey, do you want to sell your business? Do you want to sell your business? And even though I might know David really well and he might be my friend, I'm actually going to be bombarded by other people that are selling businesses. And then potentially I'm going to go, oh, hang on, I've been watching this guy, I've been watching Neil, and I see that Neil is showing me how I can sell my business better. And I may actually go with Neil instead of going with David. That's the danger that we're currently going into. So before, let's go back 10 years, 10 or 15 years. You created an ebook, you sold it for $2. 1 million people bought your ebook because there just weren't very many ebooks that you could buy. Yeah. And so 1 million people bought it. Now you'd have to create an ebook that's 20 times as good as that. And you'd have to give it away for free. And even then you'd struggle to get a whole lot of people to take it, because we're suffering from this information overload. There's so much information. And now with AI, it's actually going to get even worse. There's going to be more and more information coming into the market. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run you through some of the tools that currently I'm using. And we're using them to create content, because it's really important that you are able to create content. And I know that I know that for a lot of us, David's shown us these amazing tools and you go, wow, that tool's incredible, right? It's incredible. I can create reels. But do I really have time to create the reels? Do I really have time to, even that AI tool is going to take it from a week's worth of work to a day's worth of work or an hour's worth of work? Do I really have an hour to actually create those reels? So everything that I'm going to show you is all backed by virtual assistants, So I have virtual assistants in the Philippines. I have virtual assistants in Egypt, in South Africa, obviously because of the different world time zones. But the idea is that I think that the future for us is going to be us using AI, but having a human that can help us to use AI. So imagine if we did a physical job and I said to you, hey, Bruce, I've got this staff member and he can come and help you. And then I gave you a staff member, all right? And then my competitor said, hey, Bruce, I've got this staff member can come and help you, but he's actually got a bionic suit. So he can just lift up like 200 kilogram pallets and carry them around the factory. Obviously, you're going to go with the guy with the bionic suit. Plus, it's cool. I mean, like, who wouldn't want a guy with a bionic suit running around? Okay, so this is the difference. This is really the stage that we're at now. So, you don't necessarily have to learn how to use all the AI yourself, and you definitely don't have to learn all the AI. There are thousands of apps coming on every single day. So I think that for us, it's filtering the stuff. So we work out what is it that I'm trying to accomplish, what app will accomplish that, and then use that app. So, let's look at the idea one. So we go, okay, that's a great mind map. But there's probably 20 AI mind map apps already being released. But if you find one and that one works, stick with that one and just get to know that one well. Otherwise, it creates this whole overwhelm where, have you tried this one? Have you tried that one? And you're not actually accomplishing the work. And that's where us being able to delegate some of the stuff. Now, some of the stuff we're going to be able to delegate to AI, and some of it we're going to be able to delegate to a staff member, right? And some of it we're going to be able to delegate to a staff member who's actually using AI. So that's where the joy comes in. That's where the real benefit comes in this whole thing. So I'll run you through some of the programs quickly. I'll run you through this is just some of the stuff that we're currently using. You can see my screen? Okay, great. So before I start, I'd like to talk to you about our content. I'm talking about how do we're obviously going to delegate the creating of the content, but there's some things that we can't delegate with regards to it. So one of the things is, imagine if you were going to a new place. You wouldn't just jump in the car and go, hey, I'm heading to Brisbane, and just go on whatever road. You would work out where you're going to go, and then you'd probably get the map or the GPS, and then you'd work out from there how you're going to get there. So before we start creating content, whether it's with AI, with a VA, with whatever, we want to ask ourselves, what's the message? What's the big idea that we want to get out? And we want to be really clear and focused on this idea. And then we also want to be clear on who I'm talking to. What age group are they? What age group are these people? What's their lifestyle? What's their fears, frustrations, dreams, and desires? And then where do they hang out? Now, there's an amazing guy. His name's Vusi, and Vusi is a motivational speaker in South Africa. And he uses the example of the Rolls Royce. So, hands up if you've ever seen a Rolls Royce advert on TV, or if you've seen a Rolls Royce advert in the newspaper. We just don't see them there because that's not where the Rolls Royce clients are. But if you go to an air show where they're selling, a couple of $1 million Lear jets, there will be Rolls Royces there. Because on the way out, I've just bought myself a couple of $1 million jet, and on the way out, I'm going to pick up a Rolls. So where are your customers currently shopping? Who else are your customers currently talking to that does something like you, but not exactly like you? So this is a super, super important question to ask yourself. Once you work that out, you start getting a very clear idea of where your people are and how you can actually now attract them from there, either by doing joint ventures or affiliates or something along those lines. The next one is, what's the purpose? So when we create content, it's very important to work out what's the purpose. Do you want your content to inspire people? Do you want it to educate them? Or do you just want to entertain them? You know, you see those funny videos where the guy's just dancing and you go, well, there's zero education in that, right? And he's not even selling you a product, but he's entertaining you. His whole goal of making that video is to entertain you. So when you create some content, before you start, think about what that is. And remember that you're going to be able to give this to your virtual assistant, but you want to say, hey, I really want to create some content that's going to entertain people, right? Or I want to create some content that's really going to be able to educate them. The next thing is working out what your platform is. So, Nick gave us a great example of using TikTok. TikTok is phenomenal. We've had like heaps of success on TikTok. But then the platforms like, Facebook and Instagram, and also, platforms like LinkedIn, they all have different sort of tones that we use. They have different tones and they have different ways that we actually promote the content on there. Now, I started doing content, and I can promise you, I actually was pulling my hair out because I'd be getting into bed in my pajamas and I'd be lying in bed, and then I'd go, oh, geez, it's Tuesday. Man, I'm supposed to do videos. I've got to do a video on Tuesday, right? And then I like, do I jump out of bed now in my pajamas and do a video? Do I just skip the video? What do I do? And I thought there's got to be a better way than doing this. And so I've come up with a couple of ways that you can bulk create content. And one of them is to ask yourself 100 questions. Okay. So, if Dr. Christian goes to a party and he tells people what he does, right? What are the questions that people are going to ask him? What questions are people are 100 questions that people would ask you. You go to a party and you go, hey, I help executives become confident on camera. I can think of a couple. Why did you choose executives? Why do you want to help them be confident on camera? Hey, what's the number one thing that you think that they should do? What's 3 easy ways for them to actually be more confident? Why do you think most people aren't confident on camera? Who's been your most successful guy? Who was your hardest client, right? So think of that. Think of 100 questions. And now you write those 100 questions down. Now you just get your mobile phone and you sit there and you basically just record 100 answers. Why did I choose to help executives? This is why I'm choosing to help executives, because of all these things, And now you've got 100 pieces of content. There's only 50 weeks in a year. So literally, even if you put out 2 videos a week, you've got a year's worth of content. Now, I can tell you, I personally did this, sat at a coffee shop, wrote down 100 questions, and then I did 70 videos in one night. And it only took me about 2 or 3 hours to do. Because remember that people's attention spans have gone from like an hour down to 3 seconds. You have to impress somebody in 3 seconds, or they will move to the next post. Because remember, we basically have all just become dopamine junkies. So we look at a post, and if we don't get a dopamine hit, we move to the next post. And we move to the next post and the next post, because we know that the dopamine hits are there, right? So we're scrolling through for the dopamine hits. We're not going to wait for you to give us your 3-minute introduction. We're not going to wait for you. We're not even going to wait 5 seconds for you to give us a dopamine hit. We want a dopamine hit straight away. So we want to know that this is relevant to us, and we want that hit as quickly as we possibly can get it. Another thing is, and this is the giveaway today, is I actually run a program where I work with you for 1 hour, and I create content for you for 6 months. And we do things like we go into ChatGPT and we asking it, what's the top 10 fears, frustrations, dreams, and desires of your ideal client? What stories would explain the product that you do? What would be great hooks to use to be able to draw people into your, into your posts? Another good one would be doing, the congratulations, birthdays, and gratitude messages. Those are really, really, really powerful. I can tell you that on LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, it's one of the most powerful ways to connect with people. Because, LinkedIn sends you a message and it says, Louis's been at Ironbridge for 3 years. And the way that we do that is we come up with 25 birthday messages, 25 congratulations messages, 25 good luck messages. And as soon as that appears on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, your virtual assistant takes one of those 25 and sends out the message. So once in the beginning of the year, you're actually coming up with all the content, and then that content is just going out all through the year. Okay, and the next one is obviously to appear on something like a podcast or be interviewed, something like that, and then break it up into clips. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a quick video. This is based on a thing called the rule of quarters. So when you're going to be filming on your phone, just try and bear this in mind. When you're filming, there's a thing called the rule of quarters. So if you imagine your phone divided into 4 sections, the top section is going to have information about, reels and that type of thing. The bottom quarter is going to be completely crowded with comments and other information. So you want to be between these 2 quarters, between the top quarter and the very bottom quarter. That way, you know that your video is going to be clear. If you do need to change the aspects and make this into a square video for some reason, no problem. You've already got that covered. And secondly, if you've got a caption, put the caption, put the caption right near your face. You don't want people to look at your face and then have to look up over there, or look at your face and then try and work out your caption down here, which is now clouded by all the other comments that are there. So remember the quarters, divide your phone into quarters, stay between the top and the bottom quarter, and put captions as close to your chin as you possibly can. Hope this helps. Follow me for some more stuff. Was that helpful? Yeah, awesome. Okay. So this is the next thing, and I know that Nick briefly spoke about this. But remember that if we're going to be creating content for something like TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook Reels, okay, we want to create a portrait. Because remember, this content is going to be consumed by people on their phone. Now, if you consuming the content, remember that my phone's in portrait and I'm getting the dopamine hits. And then suddenly Roger's got one. And now I've got to turn my phone to the side to try and see Roger's one. I'm only giving him 30 seconds. I'm only giving him 3 seconds before I want the next dopamine hit. Turning my phone on the side, has already taken time. I may just scroll straight past Roger's one. Okay, just because of the way that it was recorded. So look at the recordings, try and record them in portrait for anything that's going to be consumed on a phone directly, and then landscape for anything like YouTube videos, websites, landing pages, that type of thing. Now I'm going to show you a video, just introduction for the AI section. Hello everyone, welcome to the masterclass. I'm Louis, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. In today's session, we'll explore how artificial intelligence, AI, is revolutionizing the way we create and deliver content. From automated script writing to AI-generated visuals, the possibilities are endless. Our goal... Okay, is that me or is that AI? Hands up if you think it's me. Okay, hands up if you think it's AI. Hands up if you're not sure. Either one. I love it, Bruce, the honesty. Love it, mate, love it. Okay, so this is completely AI. So this is an AI version of me, and it's an AI version of my voice. So just watch it now, and you'll see now that you know that it's AI, you'll pick up that there's very, very slight things that can tell you. To provide you with valuable insights and practical strategies that you can apply immediately. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's something here for everyone.
So let's dive in and discover how AI can enhance our creative processes and elevate our work to new heights.
Pretty incredible, hey? That is unfortunately what you are competing against. Whatever industry you're in, you are competing against someone like me coming along and saying, hey, I'm just going to create 6 months worth of content in your industry. Okay. And I'm going to go, or I'm going to be all over socials in your industry. That's what you're competing against. And that's why what Nick is telling us is so important. Okay. It's so important that we actually keep ahead and start using this information to be able to create more stuff. So we've all done this. Okay, we've probably all done some of these. Have you all done some of these? Hands up if you've done some of these pictures. You haven't done any, Colin? Colin, you need to do some. So it used to be quite difficult, but now with Google has brought out Nano Banana, which is phenomenal software. Okay, and Google Nano Banana, we used to use a whole lot of different programs, and now we literally just use Nano Banana. And you can put okay, so yesterday, on Sunday, we went out to dinner. We went out to lunch, and there was an Elvis playing. Okay, and I took a picture of my brother, and literally I just went, please create him into Elvis. And it literally converted him into a picture of Elvis. Okay, so the possibilities for this are phenomenal. Right? And for me, I did some posts where I had hair, and I put those out onto socials, and people were like, oh, what happened? Did you go to Turkey? Have you had a hair transplant? What's going on? It actually got a whole lot of engagement because people were like, how come this guy suddenly got hair? Well, what's happening? Right? So you can put yourself into different positions, which may give you some content. Now, one of the other things I want to talk to you about is, when Nick is showing you he's showing you an AI tool, and you go, wow, that AI tool is really good. And then he shows you another AI tool, and you go, wow, that AI tool is really good. Think about how you can combine AI tools. So you can literally take your idea map, you can create an idea map, and then you could take your idea map and you could then put that into ChatGPT and say, hey, I've created a mind map. Can you now expand this into whatever those things are? So think about how you can combine different AIs, right? And that's where the real power of AI is. Okay, so here's an example. So this was, we took a poster and we basically used ChatGPT. This was kind of before Nano Banana. We used ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT, unlike Nano Banana, ChatGPT has got super strict copyright. So if I wanted to create this picture and I wanted to put James's picture in here, right, it wouldn't allow me to put James's picture because I may put James on Wonder Woman, right? And that may be, James might not be happy that he's now Wonder Woman. So it would put his face on there, but it would change it slightly. So you can see here, it's actually got my picture, but it's changed it slightly. Now, I don't know how many of you use that Facebook thing, where you could swap your face with a baby, or you could swap your face with a partner or something. There's a program called Remaker. And so what we do is we do a ChatGPT, we get a program, and then we put it into another program called Remaker, and we say, here's my face, please swap this face. And so it actually puts your original face on there. So it's really using two separate AIs. Now, here's another one. How many of you have seen this kind of thing on socials? How many of you have seen you can imagine, we'd have Angeline here, and we'd have what's her favorite things, so it might be her computer, it might be her dog, it might be a coffee cup, whatever those look like. But once again, by us combining it with another program called Kling AI, we can take any still picture and we can make it into a moving picture. Something like this. That's just from a still picture created in GPT and then put into Kling AI to give us movement on the picture. Okay. And I'll show you quickly how it actually works.
Let's talk about Kling AI, how it saves you hours. Kling turns your text into an image, and that image straight into a moving, high-quality video. You just type what's in your head. Kling turns it into visual content that actually grabs attention. Say you write, a drone shot in Venice Tower at Italy. Kling makes that into a beautiful image, then animates it into a smooth video plus a sound. Now imagine this for your brand. Motivational quotes, coaching ideas, launch promotion, custom content converted into video and tailored to your message and to your goal without you doing any of the repetitive tasks. And here's the best part. You don't even need to learn Kling. Your virtual assistant can do it all: prompt, design, edit, post. You just sit down, do your business, and adapt while contents are converting. This is how smart businesses stay consistent in social media. If you want to try Kling AI without touching it yourself, comment AI below.
Okay, so this is a Kling AI is an extremely cool tool where you can literally, all those ideas that you've had, if you've ever thought that you were like a little bit of a Steven Spielberg, in making, you now have the tools to be able to do that. And the next one I want to show you is, how Dr. Christian is helping people. So Dr. Christian is helping executives to actually be able to talk and be able to do better videos. This one actually allows you to take out stuff that you've said that's incorrect. And I'll show you a quick video of how it works.
Hey, Louis here. I just wanted to quickly show you how we use the script to edit videos super easily, especially when you say the wrong thing and don't want to reshoot the whole thing. So here's a quick example. This is a video I recorded yesterday. And you can see I said, looking forward to seeing you all in the masterclass. It's going to be amazing. It's on the 24th. See you there. But let's say the date is actually the 25th, not the 24th. Well, normally you'd have to re-record, right? In the script, we just find the part where I said 24th, select it like you would in a Word doc, and hit delete. Just like that, poof, it's gone. Looking forward to seeing you all in the masterclass. It's going to be amazing. See you there. The word vanishes from the audio and the video, and the sentence still flows naturally. If you've ever edited videos manually, you know how long it takes to fix even tiny mistakes. This literally saves hours. And this was just a short clip. Imagine trying to fix something in a 10-minute video.
Who thinks that could help them with their videos? If you've ever done editing before, you would need to get the video and then you would need to work out the section. And it was a nightmare because then you'd cut it too close to this side or you cut it too close to that side. This does it automatically. So it is an incredible way for you to be able to get videos really quickly. Another one that we use is called Opus Clip. So Opus Clip allows you to do the shorts. So I know we used, Nick spoke to us about Reel, but this is actually Opus Clip or Opus Pro. Literally, I can do it. I can do a 20-minute video with you, 20-minute interview of you. And then what Opus Clip does is it takes the shorts out of that. So remember, we only want 30 seconds to 2 minutes. That's the short that we want for our socials. So Opus Clip takes all these shorts out. And I don't know if you can see that there's a number down here. Can you see there's a number? Like here it says 99. That is the video that's got the highest chance of getting engagement. So it goes from 99 all the way down to 80, and then it'll go all the way down to 50 or whatever, right? But you would want to use the videos that are, all the highest videos first. Those are the content that you'd like to get. But there's a different way that you can, that you can edit these videos. Okay. I'm going to show you how the videos traditionally are edited, or how we edit a video, how we get VAs to actually edit the videos professionally. So this is a program called CapCut. And what I'd like you to do is, can you see down the bottom? Can you see these lines down the bottom? how a traditional video gets edited is it actually has layers. Okay, so it has layers for the sound, it has layers for the pictures, it has layers for any other images that come into it. Okay, so
hoping in crickets. Not because your message was bad, your method is just off. That's why Louis have a free masterclass for you. Content that converts with AI tools. April 30th at 8.
So can you see as it's going along, it's actually picking up that picture. That's where the sound comes in. So it's a much more, it's a much more manual process to do it. But the images that the videos that you're going to get are much better. So I'm going to show you a quick video.
The secret to building authority as a coach is to really own where you are at in your current coaching journey. Now, what do I mean by that? You can hold 3 levels of authority at any one time. You can be the guru, you can be a few steps ahead, or you can be maybe on the pathway together with your client. And I have created a 3-step model that just makes this so easy, which I call the Triple G Authority Amplifier. You can be the guru, the go-getter, or going together with your ideal client. And when you own where you're at as the guru, you're the authority, you know exactly what you're doing, you've got the runs on the board, you've done it and you've helped others do it. As the go-getter, you're a few steps ahead. You've recently been on the path that your clients want to go on themselves. So as the go-together, you have the map and you're taking your client on a journey together. And so when you stand in the authority that you already have, that's when you amplify your impact.
So that one's been edited by a VA using AI. The next one is literally just something that we've done using AI. So using something like Opus Clip, you can see that it's still running. It's still running because it hasn't actually been able to get all the things that a human would get yet. I'm sure it'll get better, but you can see she makes a mistake. The AI doesn't know. She's still talking. So the AI doesn't know that, when they're going, like it's a mistake. A human knows, well, that's a mistake. Take it out. AI doesn't know how to do that yet. So you can see how the videos, remember that people want our videos to be short, sharp, and sweet, right? And by you doing it with something like CapCut, you can get it really, really professionally looking. Opus Clip, better than just a standard one, but nowhere near as good as the CapCut one. And that's where the VA comes in. The VA can help you to actually do either Opus Clip or CapCut. And all 3 of these videos have got a place in your world. Sometimes you want to just put out a raw video with ums and ahs and all that type of stuff. And sometimes you want to put out one that's really, really polished, and sometimes you want to put out one in between. So these are the main sort of differences. Opus Pro or Opus Clip is AI. It's easier to do. It just creates it. It creates it itself. It creates content much quicker, and it pretty much does it automatically to a large degree. CapCut does it more, it takes longer to do, but it gives you a much better final product. So that's kind of the difference between the two. So here's another video just using CapCut.
A man was on his deathbed, and his 3 sons were...
How many of you have seen this type of video on socials? Have you seen that? Okay. How many of you think that this type of video would benefit you on your socials? How many of you have got concepts that are a little bit more difficult? So I'm trying to explain the concept of delegation. Now, delegation, great concept. Obviously delegation, you need to have a team behind you. You need to work with a team. You're much stronger when you work with a team. I can tell you all that, or I can create a quick video like this, and I'll just show you the video.
On his deathbed, and his 3 sons were always fighting. So he told them to go outside and each get 2 sticks. They all came back with a stick, and the man asked them to break the first stick, and they easily broke the stick. Then he told them to get the second sticks and tie them together with a piece of string. The youngest son wasn't able to break the stick that had tied together. The man asked the next son. He wasn't able to break it. Finally, he asked the oldest son, who was the strongest of the 3, to break the sticks. And even he wasn't able to break it. Then the man said, "The lesson here is that if you just work on your own, people will be able to break you. But if you work together as a team, people will never be able to break you."
Is that more powerful than me telling you my delegation? Because you can actually visualize it. You're living in the story. You're like, okay, wow, that, that makes it. And how did we get to that? We basically took a metaphor. We took ChatGPT and we said, give us some metaphors that relate to delegation or working as a team. And then we took one of those and we put it into CapCut and got it to create a video for us. Okay, now there's some, I'll show you a quick example. I won't take you through the whole video, but this is really a client came to me, and this client actually is a longevity coach. Now, I don't know what your personal beliefs are, but that there's 4 main killers. Okay, so there's cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and what is the 4th one? Cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes. Heart attack. So those are the 4. We should have asked the doctor. I mean, okay. But we can't cure them with, a lot of the just normal stuff, but we can definitely reduce the risk. And so his whole message is, hey, if you can reduce your risk of getting a heart attack by doing one of these things, if you exercise a bit and if you get your diet better and if you sleep well and if you have a better mental health, you reduce your risk of getting these 4 deadly things. Now, he can't say that on socials, because on socials, it's a no-no, right? So what we did was we went into ChatGPT and we said, hey, how could we explain this on socials? Okay. And so we came up with this idea on ChatGPT of creating a movie with it. So this is what ChatGPT came up with. Okay. Let's go and imagine this. There's a horseman coming over the horizon. Okay. And on their chests, there's a H, a C, an A, and a D, right? Describing what it is. And then they get there, and then the swordsmen are there, and they've got a sword of sleep and a sword of health, right? This was what it came up with. Then we took that and we put that into thing, and this is what it's come up with.
Their riders with armored eyes. Oh.
See how we've taken the horsemen of the apocalypse and we've actually just made it so we're explaining a concept, but we're not necessarily telling them exactly what that concept is. Okay? And then further along,
Steeds and retreat distant.
I'll just show you the swords.
In 4. Slow breaker. Casting V. Beginning under the presence of the 4 swords. The earth trembles.
I'll just show you I'll show you the 4 swords.
1 horse. On the earth. Just plant their swords in the picture your reigns here. The letters on.
Can you see how that's more powerful? It's actually explaining a concept. So think about yourself. Think about what concepts have you got that are a little bit harder to explain. Like let's say we're explaining a limiting beliefs to somebody. Or let's say we're explaining about why they should use, the water. Kirsten, so if you're explaining why they should use the water, how else could you explain that to them in a way that they would actually understand? Okay, then going forward, there's some basic stuff that we can use. So there's stuff like media.io, and you can create professional pictures, or you can use Nano Banana now, which is amazing to create pictures. Captions on all of your videos.
Wow, that is.
There are some big idiots out there.
Please make sure that you're putting captions.
Because when people do stupid stuff, they probably end up.
I'll tell you why captions are important. Somebody gave me the figure that about 85% of people watch their phone, watch socials in silence. And I said, that's obviously nonsense. Okay. Until I was sitting on the couch and my partner and my daughter and I were watching a movie and we were all scrolling through socials in silence. And then I got on public transport and I saw everybody was scrolling through social media in silence. And people were in the shopping center going through social media in silence, or they're on a work break and they're just quickly going through their social media in silence. So make sure that you put captions on your videos, right? Now, you can do that, or you can get a virtual assistant to help you to do that. Either way, make sure that you've got captions happening on there, because otherwise you're losing a massive portion of your people. So if I'm at work and I'm doing a sneaky, okay, or if I'm watching TV and, Roger's one comes up, it can be amazing. But if I can't hear the sound, what does your video look like without sound, Roger? Does it look like something that I would go like, wow, I want to watch this? I mean, if it's a guy, getting dumped off a massive pop, we probably want to watch it even if it hasn't got sound. But for the average video, can you watch it without sound? And would you still watch it? Okay, so the next one is a program called Studio DID. Now, there's a million different programs that we can use where we can actually create copies of our voices and copies of our personality.
Stop scrolling if you want to grow your coaching biz without burning out. You're a business coach, not a content machine. But somehow you're stuck editing, scripting, posting every single day. Feels like a full-time job, right? That's where Studio VID comes in. You give it text and it turns it into high-quality talking head videos in your voice, your face, in seconds. You can repurpose your blogs, emails, coaching notes, boom. Instant videos for Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. No camera, no studio, no time wasted. Stay visible online even while you're coaching clients. More content equals more trust. More trust equals more clients. Exactly. You're not just a coach, you're running a business. But if you're busy growing your network, your offers, your income, you don't.
Think about it like this. If you had a shop, you would have products on the shelf, okay? The stuff that you're putting into socials is really your products on the shelf. So what stuff have you currently got on the shelf that people can get? Okay, and I'll just show you this. I'll show you this one final one quickly. This is called Notebook LM. Now, if you've never used this is probably, I know the first time I used this, I was just blown away by what we could actually do with it. I can actually go, look, I really want to learn about, I want to learn about water. I want to learn everything that I can about water. And I can go and find 10 podcasts that actually tell me about water and how water can make a difference in my world. And I can then put all those podcasts into this one platform and I can ask it to do a podcast based on those 10 podcasts. And then I can actually join that podcast and ask it questions. So that is pretty mind-blowing.
Super excited to tell you about Notebook LM. Such an incredible tool. So what LM does is it allows us to add podcasts from YouTube and books and reference materials and papers. Any information like that allows us to add all of that information in, and then we can actually run an interview, and LM creates 2 interviewers that actually then run us through the information. This is pretty cool. You've got to admit, so you can have 5 podcasts, you can condense it into 1 podcast of your own.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something huge.
Yes, this big question, isn't it? Can we actually grab all the amazing potential of AI?
The next cooler thing is that you can then join that podcast and you can actually ask questions and the podcasters will interact with you on the podcast. So super, super cool. If you'd love to see what it looks like in real life, reach out and I'd love to show you.
Okay, now I'll tell you a story that's a little bit embarrassing. Okay, so I was doing a renovation with my sister and I recorded some content for that video that you just watched. I recorded it, but it was all over the place. It was messy. Any case, I approached my team when the video came out on my socials. I approached my team and I said, guys, you did an amazing editing job. The way you've edited it was excellent. And my team said, Louis, that wasn't you. We didn't edit any of your video. That is completely AI Louis and completely AI Louis's voice. And obviously, I was a bit embarrassed about that because I hadn't even picked up that it was AI me that they were using. Okay, so this is how close we're getting to that line. We're getting very, very close to that line where, you know, it goes between AI and what's real. It's an extremely close line. And lots of us, I created my first AI version of myself about 2 years ago, and I created a Pixar version because it just freaked me out. It freaked me out, to be honest. But now I've kind of made peace with it. You know, I think about the fact that, you know, I could take Nick's voice from this podcast today, and I could actually create a version of Nick. Wouldn't it be better if Nick created his own version of Nick and told us all the amazing stuff that Nick knows, as opposed to me creating a version of Nick and getting it to say whatever? So, you know, don't be too afraid. Don't be too afraid of it. Use it. And I'm sure that, you know, there's good and bad in everything, but look at it like a tool. So view it like a tool. There's another one called
mind-blowing AI.
This is another one called AppSuno. And if you've ever wanted to create a song, you know, I know, Colin, you know, you may want to just, you know, create a love ballad for somebody in your life. You know, you never know. And you can actually go into this app. It's free. I like it, Colin. Colin's leaning in. He's like, give me more. Okay. This one is actually, you can actually create a song. It's free and it's super, super easy to do. And honestly, if you've got somebody in your world and you just want to give them a really big smile today, this would be a beautiful way to do that. Okay. If you're looking for a jingle for your business, this would be a beautiful way to do that. If you have people come into your podcast, into your, you know, your meeting room, and you want to play some music while they're coming in, this is a beautiful way to do it. So you just go in and you put a couple of words about what you want, and it will do the rest. Oh, sorry, Colin, I went past your.
This is mind-blowing AI that makes music real music. It's called Suno AI, and yes, it's free. You just type the kind of song you want, and it creates it in seconds. Pop, lo-fi, instrumentals, even full lyrics. Suno AI does all of it. You don't need to be a musician. You just need an idea and a few words. Here are some music tracks my virtual assistant made using Suno AI.
Understand, I'm grateful for these digital days.
Did you see the things where the first one spoke about my digital hands, you know, having a virtual assistant, my digital hands. The second one's talking about freeing up my time. And that's because we've put some content in there. Now, an amazing thing to do, Colin, would be to just sit down with ChatGPT and say, hey, I'd love you to create some lyrics for me, or I'd love you to create a poem for me about somebody. And you can actually put in a whole lot of content about that person. And it then creates a poem or some amazing lyrics. And then you take those amazing lyrics and you put it into Suno, and you now have the most incredible song to give somebody as a gift. All for free. All for free. Okay.
Are you what?
I'll run you through. Just run you through.
All right.
Okay, so this one, if you want to be doing marketing, this one is incredible. Okay, so at.ai is incredible. If you're not using it, you need to be using it. You can literally put your URL, so you put your website address in there, and it will tell you everything that you need to know about your website. It'll tell you what keywords you've got, what your competitors are like, and I'll just
All right, bye everyone. So this item, what you're gonna do is just enter a website you want to build it from. So for today, let's try Iron Page. It will be generated. See. So right now you can see here are the marketing brief, summary, competitive advantages, and also you can see the brand vocabulary, best wordings that you can use for your, maybe business pain point or something like that. So. And you can see there's a SMM here for your first post, Facebook post 1, 2, I think, SEO, and email. You have a topic now here, articles that you can create, brand. Yeah, so that's how it works. Thank you.
Can you see how powerful that is? You're just putting in your URL. It's telling you words that you should be looking at to get a better SEO, to get your search engine optimization up. It's telling you, it's giving you Facebook posts. It's giving you a full rundown of your website. Now, if you've got somebody else who's got a website and basically they're your competitor, you could go in and put their website in there and it would give you a full rundown of their website. Where are they better than you, and what stuff do you need to work on? So this is things that, we've got coming up. So we really need to be looking at that and working out how you can use AI currently to, increase the stuff that you're doing. So thank you very much. I super appreciate your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure being here. Nick, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that I could be here and talk to the beautiful members. And I do have an offer. I actually have two offers that I'd like to show you. And the first one, this is actually part of the Lucky Door prize. So the first offer is this. I'll work with you for an hour. It's probably an hour and a half that I work with you. And what we do is I actually do a one-on-one strategy session with you. I help you to map out and create content for the next 6 months. I also give you a chat GPT, a custom GPT that you can use then to actually help other customers, to help your clients to be able to create content. I also do a 20-minute interview with you. But some of the main things that you're going to get out of this is A, you're going to get clarity as to who your avatar is. B, I'm going to help you work out the top 10 fears, frustrations, dreams, and desires of your ideal avatar. I'm going to give you ideas for videos for about 10,000 videos. Okay, who'd like 10,000 video ideas for their content, like for their socials? Incredible, hey, incredible. I'm also going to give you 20 hooks. I'm going to give you 20 hooks that are going to actually stop people scrolling and get them to look at your content. I'm going to give you stories that align with your content. Like the story of the person with the 2 sticks, right? I'm going to give you 20 stories like that align with your content. That's going to help you to be able to explain it better. And then I'm going to give you 20 full Facebook posts. So pretty much you're going to walk away and you're going to have 6 months worth of content, written content. But then over and above that, I'm going to do a 20-minute interview with you. Okay. And from the 20-minute interview, I'm going to break it down into shorts, and I'm then going to give those shorts back out to you. My team's going to edit them for you using CapCut and Opus Clip, and we're going to give you those back so you can put them on your socials. So you genuinely are going to walk away with 6 months worth of content ready to go. So this is the door prize. Thank you so much, Nick. Really appreciate you. If any of you are interested, I can give you the link, or you can just scan the QR code and sign up. These are limited because obviously, my time is a bit limited. So I do 5 of these a month. I've already got 2 of them that we've sold this month. So if you're interested, I would strongly suggest that you get in and get one of those. The next offer that I've got is really where I can provide, I have 14 of my own virtual assistants. Okay, so I have people that just do CRM. I have people that just do IT. I've got people that just do social media. And what I do is I allow you to have access to my full team. So how that works is you buy a block of 40 hours, and that you can use that 40 hours however you want. So you might say, hey, I want a funnel created, or I need some IT, I need some IT. I need somebody to help me set up my Zoom or set up my calendar link to be able to, for people to be able to book directly in with me. Or I need a landing page done or something along those lines, or any of the AI stuff that you've seen today, you can get that created. So that's the casual package. So thank you very much. I super appreciate you, Nick. I really appreciate your time. And I'm open to questions if any of you have got any questions about any of the stuff you've seen.
Fabulous. Thanks for that, Louis. We've dropped those 2 links into chat as well for those of you that are saving the chat or want to go and visit the links and take up that opportunity. Any questions at all? Actually, I'm just having a look at the chat there. If you've got a question or a comment, pop your hand up. There's a couple there. As Colin, did you have a question, did you?
There we are. Thank you for that, Louis. It's amazing information. I have a product that cost over $1 million to develop. It was granted 5 patents. It was independently valued at $198 million, and it needs traction. So the problem with the product is that there's nothing else like it on the market. So it needs to be shown and it needs to be demonstrated. And I've done various video clips over the years and nothing's been any good at all. Am I able to use AI to get the type of impactful video that I need?
Absolutely, Colin. And sometimes the stuff that we're selling is a little bit almost abstract. I want to use as a word. And I'll give you an example. I work with the solar power guy, and he comes to you and he says, buy solar because you're going to save money over the next couple of years. And we went in and we said, what is that like? What is it kind of like? Because I'm going to save money over the next couple of years. Like, it doesn't really float my boat personally. But we came up with this thing where we did a whole lot of, they call them kind of likes. Okay, so it's kind of like, would you sign up a mortgage with a 300% variable rate? And you go, no, I'd never do that. That would be ridiculous. Who would do that? And well, that's what you're doing with your electricity account. So we're explaining the concept, but we're using something completely different to explain it, if that makes sense, Colin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a unique market. It's not a small market. It's in a huge market, but it's in a market that gets a lot of negative publicity. It's smoking. It's a smoking device, and it was developed to help people to stop smoking. Nobody bought it to stop smoking, but because it's 52% healthier than smoking cigarettes, that's why I do it. I don't smoke, but I'm involved with the product for that reason. It saves lives. Now that we have legal marijuana, it's an absolutely perfect product for that because people smoke marijuana without any form of filter. So trying to get those messages out to people and trying to get through the barrier that they've got of smoking. I'm not smoking and I'm not trying to promote smoking. I'm only trying to help people who can't give up smoking to live a healthy life. So trying to get those messages over, I found is very difficult.
So Colin, what the other thing that you need to try and do is, have you heard about polarizing? So you want to polarize your audience. So for example, if I say to you all, I love Donald Trump, I love him, I think he's the greatest guy ever. Okay. Tell me the feeling that you get. You either get like, what an idiot. This guy's an idiot. Doesn't he know Trump has stuffed up the whole of America? Or you get the feeling, actually not, I secretly like the guy as well. He's actually done okay. He's doing amazing stuff and he's standing up and he actually says he'll do it and he does it. But you got one of those emotions, didn't you? So as soon as you got one of those emotions, if you got the I love Donald Trump and let's say I love Donald Trump, I've immediately polarized you. And I've gone, you are my people. You are not my people. And a lot of us go in there and we kind of wishy-washy. Yeah, you know, Trump's, you know, he's made a new policy and da-da-da. And because we wishy-washy, we don't create that polarizing effect. But you want that polarizing effect. You want people to either say, man, Colin's an idiot, or Colin's the best thing since sliced bread. Right? Because all the people that say Colin's an idiot, they're not your people. But all the people that think that you're the best thing since sliced bread, they're going to promote your product like there's no tomorrow. Did that help you? Did it help?
Yeah. I need to think about how to actually utilize that. And I think the problem is I really need to make a video that's an explainer video that's easy. I'm too old. It's a younger market. It's a hippie type people. Don't think there's hippies left, is there? That might be the last one. But it's a younger generation of people. So my image is no good. Probably my voice is no good. I don't know. So I need to create probably an avatar of Jimi Hendrix or something, or Cheech and Chong. So I need to create an image like that, and they do the selling.
I could show
Actually,
you.
AI can fix your image there, Colin. AI can make you look a lot younger.
Yeah, good.
Colin, there's a lot of people that are much older than you that have got massive followings on social media.
There's an older than me.
Massive followings.
Anybody older than me.
Look at Granny's house. Go and look at Granny's house. Go and look at Granny's house on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook. Granny's house, she's got a massive following.
Excellent. Old one, you have a question.
Yes, thank you, Lewis. I'm impressed with your big team. My question is around how do you find and keep great team members?
Very good question. Very good question. So I hire for attitude. I have always hired for attitude. I don't hire for necessarily experience. Okay. And I believe that with all of us, most of us need to actually hire the polar opposite of ourselves. So I'm a big picture guy and I'm like, hey, we're going to save the world. Like, you know, we're going to go and create this product. I'm going to save the world. But I have to have team members that are like, okay, Louis, how do you propose that we're actually going to save the world? And what are the statistics and what's that financially going to cost us? And I have to have those kind of team members behind me. Because if I've got all people that are with me and they're all like, we're going to save the world, and we go off and we're all big picture people, we're not going to accomplish it, because even though those people are boring, and you go like, man, they're so boring. They're actually the people that we need in our lives. So that's one way that I actually look at acquiring staff. And the next thing is I'm very much about the servant leader top style, where, you know, what can I give you? You know, what can I give you, Eldwin, to help you to do your job better? What resources can I give you? What equipment can I give you? You know, what training can I give you? Because ultimately, if you're doing your job better, you're growing my business. You know, and that's where I think a lot of people fall short. They kind of go, well, they need to be able to just do it with whatever they've got. And that's so silly. You've got amazing resources. You're not giving them more stuff. And that's why AI is so good. Because we could put staff into your business. We'd give them AI training, and they use that to be able to grow your business and your brand.
Great, thank you. Some great tools there. Thank you.
No
Fabulous. Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's probably all we've got time for tonight. So it sounds like we could go on for quite some time tonight with all of the tools and all of your knowledge. So really appreciate that, Louis. Now, we do have the door prize for tonight as well, too. So we've got a special way of drawing it. But before we do, you did mention the door prize when you talked about your offers, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
So which one was it? It was the content creation one, was it?
Yes, they're working with me for an hour and I create 6 months worth of content for you.
6 months worth of content. Fabulous. Anyone want that? No? Okay. Yeah, yes, we all do. Okay, fabulous. All right, well, let's bring up our wheel of names and see who our lucky winner is. I can see David Fisher now leaning forward, as is Paul Kennedy. sort of putting on his glasses because they think that this is their time. But let's prove them wrong and see who else is going to come up trumps. All right, well, all of your names are in the wheel. Of course, you have to be in the room to win. If you've disappeared, we just go and draw it again. So let's spin the wheel. There we go. It's a bit sort of slow and jerky, isn't it? I guess it's just the heat of the internet. And our lucky winner is, is it Bruce or is it Aldwin? It's Aldwin.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Well, I haven't won anything for ages here, so thank you. That's so
How good is that?
Yay.
You've often provided prizes, so here you go. Sort of reciprocated at the other end.
Hey, thank you so much. That's great.
Well done. All right. Well, we'll introduce you by email. Obviously, you can connect as well because you've got Lewis's details with the links that are in chat. Which reminds me, now's a good time to save that chat with all of the links and bits and pieces in it. If you do want to connect with people that have popped out their details into chat, do that as well too. And if you've enjoyed this session, it will be up on the SmashGo YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to watch it again because you missed some of the tools, then it'll be up there. If you know someone else that might be interested in it as well, then send them over to the YouTube channel as well too, because this might be just the thing that they're looking for. So that is our show tonight. Let's give Louis a big round of applause for everything he shared tonight. And for everyone here, have a sensational evening, and I look forward to seeing you on social media with some of your new AI characters. Have a good night.